to the Shaking Up Show, the show that keeps its beady eye on all things Bury AFC. I'm your host, Nick, and on today's show, we have a teammate special. So we have two players that have been involved since the beginning of our journey. So first of all, we've got striker Liam MacDevitt. Liam spent some time at Yeovil. He was also at Stoke City. He went on to play for Gosport, Horsham, and then Staly-Bridge. And joining Liam will be his bestie, Tony Whitehead. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He had time at Limerick. He also played in New Zealand with Liam MacDevitt. He then joined Staly-Bridge with Liam MacDevitt. And now he plays for Bury AFC with Liam MacDevitt. So please give a warm welcome to Tony and Liam. Hey, guys, you okay?
How's it going, mate? You okay?
How are you doing, guys? You okay? Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, cheers for having us on, Nick. Some of
those. You had a training match on Monday night against, was it Stockport Academy?
Yeah.
How's the last? Yeah, how's the last cook? So you had the training match against Stockport this week just gone, and then you had who was it? Was it
Direct.
Yeah, it was Vallows Academy. How did that go? First of all, Liam, how have the matches been?
Yeah. First one was better than last night. I'm just catching up on fitness, I'd say. Still, obviously the team Stockport been training full time, and I was definitely feeling like I'd had a lockdown and not played much football. So it's good to see how far we've got to get to full fitness. It was good.
Tony, did you feel like you were out of fitness at all, or did you feel absolutely fine? Was it a walk in the park for you?
No. It's more the sharpness, I suppose, Nick. That only comes with playing games and obviously more sessions, things like that. But I suppose the most important thing, I know people say results in pre-season don't matter, but it's a big thing for our group, winning games, especially like we want to get promoted. So it's a good start that way, and they say winning's a habit. So it's good to win the first two anyway.
And Tony, how's it been like during lockdown? Have you managed to keep up a fitness regime, or have you kind of battled through doing a bit of work, or have you? I spoke to Alex O'Keefe a couple of weeks ago, last week, and he was saying that he was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing some running. Have you been doing that as well, or not so much?
I have been running, but not 5 o'clock in the morning. But Alex went a bit mad. In fairness, he's proper fit. He's proper looked after himself. But yeah, I was doing running. I did my first ever half marathon over lockdown as well. So my first and last, I think. But I was doing a lot of like 5Ks, 10Ks. Just it wasn't even a fitness perspective. It was even just for my own mind, just to get out and try to keep as healthy as possible, I suppose.
And Liam, you've not been so well over the last couple of months. You were just telling me just off camera about what you've gone through.
No, I've been all right. Just obviously had the fractured wrist, so I was having to chase after Tony with a cast on for a few weeks while I had the broken wrist. Then COVID set me back a bit, and just catching up to speed after the both of those really.
So yeah, it's that's the thing that like I say, we're just talking off camera, Tony. We're just saying about, it's this kind of unknown for the people that have had a bit of COVID, and it's that we don't know where you might have been up to, and it's definitely. I reckon that you're not going to be the only players that are going through this as well. So, what about training itself? Is training been going well? Have you been enjoying training again, seeing all the boys?
Yeah, it's good just to get back to the boys, really. I've missed it so much. There's only so much me and Tony can do with a ball or running around before we get sick of each other. So, it's good to be back with the boys. And even though it's just once a week, it's just that 2 hours where you can just let off all your steam and slowly start to get up to being competitive and ready to play matches.
Cool. So you say have you been working together over lockdown? You said, I know I saw a couple of Twitter messages saying that you were kind of knocking around with the ball and stuff. You live quite near to each other, is that right? Yeah,
just round the corner.
Yeah.
So how did you two meet then? So this sounds a bit like first dates, really, but how did you two meet, Tony? Where did all this start? For those who don't know, I don't know who follows who about. Liam, do you follow Tony, or does Tony follow you around like a good?
A bit of both, really.
Yeah. It was Liam came on trial. The first time I met him was actually he came on trial to Limerick in Ireland, club I was with before. I think you were there for 2 weeks, Liam, were you?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And then obviously he went down and moved on to something else. But I moved over to New Zealand, and I got the manager over there, Paul O'Reilly, gave me a call and just said, "Oh, we've a new lad coming over from England, Liam MacDevitt. Can you pick him up?" And the name didn't really mean much to me, but I arrived then and I picked him up, and obviously we lived together in New Zealand. But the second I met him, obviously I remembered him from Limerick. So we lived together then for a couple of months over there, and obviously we're still playing together over here. So know each other a couple of years now, to be fair.
So Liam, tell us a little bit about your New Zealand journey then. What happened out there? What took you over there? How did you get yourself to New Zealand?
Just a random one, really. I was sat watching the World Cup with my mum, and I was just like, I'd love to play in a different country, and I'd always wanted to go to New Zealand. So I think Paul O'Reilly, our manager there, was one of the first people I messaged, and just basically said I'd be up for it. And then we went back and forth with a few emails over a few months, and then next thing I was on a flight over there, and Tony picked me up from the airport, and then I stayed with Tony for the first half of the season, and then moved to a club up in Nelson for the second half of the season. But I think Tony will say the same thing. It was just incredible, like the standard of living over there. The country's the most amazing place I've ever been to. Add some football into that. I mean, we were training practically full time, like 6 or 7 sessions a week. It was incredible. Like a few of the games on the weekend were televised. Tony's team, which I left halfway through, massive stadium, and it was just a great sort of 8 to 10 months over there.
What is the football like over there? Because obviously they're big sports, kind of like the rugby and cricket, obviously probably close second. But whereabouts is the football there then? How is it? I know we've got in Australia you got the A-League that's kind of taken the last couple of years. What's the New Zealand leagues like?
It was I was impressed by the standard really, to be honest, but it was because like obviously myself and Liam were seen as foreign players over there, and you were only allowed, was it 5 or 6? Was it 6 anymore?
6.
Yeah, six foreign players in your match day squad. So it was 16, obviously you're 11 and your 5 subs, only 6 of them could be seen as like say foreign players. So I think we had 7 or 8 in the squad, so there was a bit of like, there was obviously a lot of competitiveness between us lads to get into them 6 spaces, and then you the New Zealand lads, and as you said, it wouldn't be their first sport. So I think like we played against lads that played for Auckland City, that had played in the Liga, that played for like Real Sociedad, Villarreal, teams like that. So they obviously like were brought over to try and raise the standard of the game over there, which I think they obviously did. But there was just it's a bit of a strange, but they were so close to being. It was so close to being such a good league, but it was just a couple of bits missing. Like I think we only played 18 league games or something like that. And you look at it, and maybe we could have played a third round of fixtures against each other, and it'd be a bit more of a proper season then. But
a bit like they do in Scotland, like with the where they play each other 4 times.
Yeah, it was just that import rule, really. Like the 2 biggest teams, obviously Auckland City are a very, very good team. They play in like Club World Cup and stuff, and then you've got is it Eastern Suburbs who are competing too, and then you've got Wellington Phoenix Reserves. So all the best Kiwi players end up at those 3 clubs. So then you kind of rely on who's in your local, like the best players from your local area. So when we were at Southern, it was the best players in Otago would play for Southern United. And then when I moved to Nelson, it was the same there. But they're already the group of Kiwi players below the top players. So it was definitely a different style of play. But the foreign players who went over were like the standard was pretty high.
What was the country like itself? Is it a good country to live in? Is it a good time while she was there?
Yeah, it's incredible, mate. Honestly, it's one of the best countries ever. Like it's unbelievable, and we were so lucky with such a good group of lads. Like from my case anyway, like I had an Irish manager who was one of the best I probably played under. A group of Irish boys there that had played in the same league as me back home, like in League of Ireland. That they couldn't have been better to us while we were over there. So. yeah, we're probably lucky. You know, you hear some stories of fellas going away and they have a nightmare if they went to, you know, clubs in Australia or going even to New Zealand. I've heard a few stories, and or going to Asia, places like that. But we couldn't have been luckier really with the group we had. So it was quite incredible, to be honest.
Same for you, Liam. You had a good time whilst you were out there.
Yeah, great time. I had a few less games to play than Tony, so I probably made up for it socially. But yeah, it was good crack.
And then what you decided to do, the pair of you, is pack it all in. So you've had such a good time in New Zealand and decided to make your way back to the UK and hit Staly-Vegas. Is that right? Staly-Bridge.
Yeah, that's how it went, basically. Yeah.
So you just thought, no, this life for me in New Zealand is no good. I don't like these incredible climate and these incredible people. I want to get myself back to Staly-Bridge.
Staly-Bridge, yeah. No, the visa situation there is a bit tricky for staying the second year. But yeah, I got a job at the BBC, moved over and went. One of my old managers from the South put me in touch with the manager at Staly-Bridge, went in for pre-season, and then just was like, missed my mate Tone basically, and said, does he fancy coming over just to see what it's like? And then, and both ended up signing there for the season, which was great. Moved in the flat next door to me, and yeah, it's been fun.
So Tony, you did follow Liam then. You followed him back. You thought you couldn't live without him, so you thought, no, I need to get. I don't care where he is in the world, wherever. I want to be with my mate Liam. And when he went, get yourself to Staly-Vegas. This is the place.
Yeah, well, but I was actually offered another year over there, but obviously I had a girlfriend back home in Ireland, and it was hard enough being away for kind of 9-10 months. So I said it was probably right decision at the time to go home, and I'd been back in Ireland kind of 3 or 4 months doing a little bit of training, not much to be honest. But obviously Liam rang in that he was in Manchester, and he just said to come over and go training with Staly-Bridge for a couple of weeks and see how we get on. So,
what was the standard like at Staly-Bridge? What league were you playing in then?
Northern Prem.
Yeah. So couple of bubbles.
Yeah, it was good. We had a really good group again. We were like 4th in January, and then there was quite a few changes and results didn't quite go our way, and then the season got null and voided. But yeah, we had a really good first half of the season, and a really good group. And yeah, what were we, 3rd or 4th in January?
We had a great start to the season. Yeah, we won the big derby game against Hyde on Boxing Day. I think we went 3rd or 4th, and then it was just unfortunate that we couldn't kick on from there. But and then obviously COVID came in, and that was the start of it. Then kind of that March that year, towards the end of that season. So didn't get to finish out the season there, or obviously didn't get to finish last season. So that's been a frustrating start so far over here.
I was going to say, so Tony, you obviously from Ireland. So had you been to Manchester before Liam had come over here? Have you been to Manchester, or did you plan on moving to Manchester, or did you just?
No, it was just out of the blue, really. I'd never actually been in Manchester. I think once going over to a Liverpool game, I flew to Manchester and just got the train straight to Liverpool. So I think that was about it. That was the only time I was ever in Manchester before coming over then.
And you both Liverpool fans, yeah?
Yeah, both Reds fans, yeah.
Is that something that bonds you together as well? Is that when, like, when you're out in New Zealand, or is that all you kind of talked about Liverpool, about the games, like all the
where the first bonding started? We moved into this house in New Zealand. We had no Wi-Fi. It was like the end of winter. It was freezing. We hadn't sussed out the heating, and the first night we got there, we just whacked the fire on because someone had just dropped us off a load of logs and coal. And I think we got so cold we just had a cuddle on the first night. We didn't even have TV. We just sat there and just like,
yeah.
We couldn't
get the fire going, and we were staying in a rented house, and I shouldn't be saying it, but we couldn't get the fire going, and we didn't have the means to do it, so just burnt a couple of books like that were there just to get it going.
There it is, the Holy Bible. That'll go on there.
Yeah.
Boom, that'll go on.
I probably probably get a bill from 2.5 years ago for a couple of books now in the course.
You'd be no good on that SAS program, would you? On Channel 4,
No.
you know, like who dares wins. You'd be like, I need it. Where's the yellow pages? And the only way I can get the website is yellow pages.
The yellow pages. I haven't seen the yellow pages in about 10 years.
Still knocking around. Thompson's Local and yellow pages.
Yeah.
They're still going strong. Then you ever need to start a fire? Get one.
They're probably just a piece of A4 now. They just got gradually smaller, didn't they?
With just one website on it, just go in. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your involvement out of football then. So Liam, tell us. I know you say you do a bit for the BBC. I'm sure people have seen you on Match of the Day and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about what you do at the Beeb.
Yeah, just on Match of the Day X at the minute. Just been doing some producing on there, and then I do presenting with the PFA, BBC. Got a few projects over the summer with BBC and the PFA and stuff. I've got a really exciting one next Monday. Going to be interviewing Kenny Dalglish, which is going to be wicked.
For a Liverpool fan, that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, like top 5. If anyone to do with Liverpool, he'd be on the list of people you'd want to meet. So looking forward to that one.
I once met Kenny Dalglish on a flight. I was going to Amsterdam. He was going playing golf in Portugal. And I had a few drinks because I was obviously going to Amsterdam. And I saw Kenny Dalglish and Alan Hansen, and they were there in the outside the gate. And I ran up to Kenny Dalglish and Alan Hansen, and I said, "Can I have a picture?" And it was a disposable camera. And Alan Hansen said, "No, that's fine." I wanted to, and I got a picture of it. And it was back in the day where, you had to go and get them developed and all that lot. And I got the picture back, and it didn't look like Kenny Dalglish. And I was thinking, was it Kenny Dalglish? It just didn't look like him. I'll show you the picture one day. And I thought, maybe it was just two lookalikes that just so happened to look at. And I was showing it to my dad, "Oh, Dad, there's King Kenny." He was like, "That's not King Kenny. What are you on about?" So whoever it is, so just if he does remember, if you're speaking to him next week, he just remember, did some drunk guy crash you about 20 years ago? It was definitely Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony? What's your job outside of football?
So I work in sales. I work in for a recruitment company called Ving Group. So it's quite enjoyable now with Nick, to be fair, and work with a really good group of people. So it's quite rewarding, and I really do enjoy it. Like,
are you working from home still, Tony, or are you in the office now a bit more?
No, back in the office now. So back with everyone I work with. So it's good to see their faces again and be around them every day.
Fantastic. Brilliant. So what about your journey to Bury AFC then? So tell us a little bit. We'll start with you first of all, Liam. So how did you end up joining Bury AFC, and what drew you to the club?
I can't remember where I saw it first. I think I saw on Twitter actually. Messaged Chris and just said, I was at Staly-Bridge, live locally, would love to get involved with the project, because I think it's such an exciting opportunity to give for football back to a community. So I messaged Chris, just said I'd love to be part of it. And he passed me on to Andy, and the gaffer just said come down, and we were there from the first session, I think, were we, Tone? First or second session?
Yeah, first one, I think, yeah.
And just obviously the opportunity to work with the manager as well, as a forward player, and the career he's had, it was kind of just too good to turn down, playing under the manager, and then you add the part of the fans and the community stuff into it. It just was perfect for me, really.
And Tony, I presume that Liam just said, come with us, Tony, come on. We've been to New Zealand together, we've gone to Staly-Bridge, now it's time for us to join Bury AFC, is that right?
Well, it was something similar. I started speaking to Chris as well, and Andy gave me a call then one night, and just, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it was one of them, 10 minutes after talking to the gaffer, it was one of them, I definitely, he's the type of person I definitely want to play out for, that kind of way. He told me a few stories about when he played under Roy Keane and things, and I'm sold after that. Yeah. So but it's been so enjoyable. Even being back training, we've got such a good group. I know it's another cliche, Nick, but we've got such a good group, and it's all competitive between all of us. We've got 22 proper good players, and it's all competitive training, so good, and it's been really enjoyable, as I said.
And the thing is as well, you've dropped down obviously a couple of leagues as well to play in this one. So is it something, Liam, that you really believe in this project and you really believe in what Andy's creating and what we're trying to do as a club? Is that something that you could see happening?
Yeah, completely. I think from my perspective, like, even if I played in leagues above, Conference South or Southern Prem or whatever, like, as enjoyable as that is, like, non-league football can get quite repetitive, and it's not always the easiest. So the chance to play at a club where you can work on something and be part of a bigger project was kind of the appeal for me. It was, I didn't really think about the level. It was more just trying to enjoy football, play as many games as I can. And then it just helps that the group was great, the support network and the supporters were good. And it's an opportunity to hopefully go and win a league, which is something I've been involved in a few promotions, and it's the best thing you can do. So add all that together, and it was just perfect.
And Tony, we've just had the fixtures come out this week. The leagues announced this week. So we've got a few new additions to our league. One of them being the Isle of Man. So there's going to be an Isle of Man trip. Is that so it's a bit closer to home, I suppose? If it's the nearest game to your gaff. Is that right? You could get a few years.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, we might get a few people over from Charleville and a plane or something. But no, there's I just saw it there today myself, Nick. So I'd say that'd be. I'm not sure if we'd have many people going over to that. I'm sure we would, like, with the support we've had so far. But it'd be quite an exciting one for the fans to go to as well, I suppose. You know, flying over there. Or, is that how we get over there? Yeah, I know it might be that.
Who knows? We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
What about you, Liam? What kind of, obviously, some of the news that's come out this week, we've sold over 500 tickets, season tickets for the club in the first couple of days. As a player, obviously, you know, we're not playing at elite level, but we're playing certainly at a competitive level. What does it sound like for a group of lads here in the, all right, wow, 500 season tickets have gone in the first couple of days. How does that make you feel as a player playing, representing the club?
No, it's obviously really exciting. I think even in our group chat, there's been like a bit of buzz about it. I think as soon as I saw the 500 thing going up, I think I texted Tony and said, like, oh, we've sold X amount, it's going to be good. We're all just looking forward to it. And I think we saw in the games last season, I think the supporters won us a few points. We scored so many late goals. Every team was under the pressure straight away because we had home support, and that was only a few hundred. So I think it's going to be such a good atmosphere, and definitely we wouldn't have got through those games as easily or even scored so many late goals if it wasn't for the home support. Like some of the scenes where we scored last minute goals and stuff, that's what you want as a player, to be involved in that atmosphere. So yeah, just especially after the last 2 years, just can't wait to get back to it. I missed it so much.
That was with 300 fans as well. Imagine what it'd be like with a couple of thousand in there, hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, that's it. I mean, like I say, we've got just in case you're still watching, you can get your season tickets if you travel over to the Bury AFC website, buryafc.uk. You'll be able to go and follow a link somewhere, and there'll be a little thing about season ticket, and you can also find it out on social media. But so yeah, you're talking there a little bit about last minute goals and matches. I think there's one of my favourite moments last season, Liam, you're not going to enjoy me saying this, is obviously Chris Holt's goal against Golka. You obviously were ejected unfairly from the pitch. How did you? And then Chris scored, and then all of a sudden, Liam MacDevitt just came from nowhere, legged it out from nowhere. Tell us a little bit about that game. And I know, we do clutch at straws because there was only a few games last season, but there are these little moments that we can kind of look back on and just go, that was absolutely mental. But tell us a little bit about that game and how you felt about it.
Yeah, although the season was short, there were so many good things that happened and so many moments and stuff that are I'd remember with all the best and worst bits of my career. But yeah, that red card, obviously, just ridiculous. Glad it got overturned. But I think I'd taken my top off. I was probably hitting a few walls in the changing room. And I think I snuck down the tunnel just to have a look at what was going on, and then just see Chrissy pop it in the net, and then everyone just limbs and beer everywhere. So yeah, it was just straight out, get as close to the boys as possible, and just be thankful that obviously getting sent off didn't cost us a point.
It was a crazy game. It was that down to 9 men, keeper sent off, Jimmy in net, and it's like something out of I don't know, Roy of the Rovers type stuff, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. And then obviously another game. Obviously, we always keep going back to the Steaton game, but the person who set us off in that game was Tony's. How far was it, Tony? 35 yards, 40 yards, 45 yards?
Keep going, Nick, if you want. You can just keep making this up. I think it was about maybe about 25. Was it maybe 30? But
I'd say 30.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's not too bad. I'll take that.
So that was the first game of the season. I remember it was absolutely. Obviously, we'd had a delay due to COVID. There was this big build up, and then 4 minutes into the game, you just launched one from, like you say, 30 odd yards, and it went in this top corner. It was absolute scenes, weren't it?
Yeah. Well, considering I did actually score in pre-season, but I'm not known for scoring goals, Nick. So when it fell out to me, I'd say a couple of people were giving out about me having a shot, but luckily it went in anyway, and it was, as you said, it was a very good start, I suppose. But as you see, I haven't scored since, so I could do with maybe a bit more shooting practice.
To be fair, there was only 6 games after that, and I think you missed one as well. So technically, you only played 5. So that's not bad. One in 5.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's the best of my whole career, anyway, definitely so far.
And the nice thing is we caught it on camera as well, so it's something to show.
Yeah.
It's something to show the little one because your missus is expecting. Is that right?
Yeah. In 2 days, due in 2 days.
2 days time.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on her. Make sure you got that bag packed. Is there a bag next to you there, just ready to go?
There is. It's out by the front door. Yeah, ready to go. Her one and one for the baby as well. So ready to go now.
Well, that's good. You're gonna almost get. There's gonna be some sort of like mother and baby group while she's playing, because obviously Aaron Dwyer's got twins, and then you've got Chris Holt is expected. I think Chris is anytime soon, isn't it? It's the end of May.
He's next Wednesday. Yeah, he's another week away.
And then you as well. So it's going to be.
Matty Williams has just had a little girl, and then Greavesy had a baby during the season. I think there's 6 of us, but obviously Aaron had twins, so there's 6 of us. There'd be 7 babies between 6 of the team.
Nearly got all the mascots sorted for the first game anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I know that's lockdown for you. That's what lockdown's like. Isn't it funny how all these football? Oh, I think Tony's just gone over there. No, you're right, Tony. Yeah, that's what lockdown's done. Obviously, a little bit of lockdown, and all of a sudden, 9 months later, couple of kids on
right.
Yeah. Lockdown babies, they call them, isn't it?
So what are you looking forward to next season then? What kind of things are you looking forward to? Is there anything that is there any is it just playing again? Is it being competitive? What got to start with you, Tony, then what are you hoping for next season?
The biggest one, I suppose, is playing in front of, like, we've already touched on it, but the biggest thing about signing for Bury was, playing for such a big town, such a big club. I know it, obviously it's changed a little bit now, but it's still a massive club, as you see, massive following. And you're mentioning about the season tickets there, but that's, without the added crowd on match days as well. So, and that's a big thing, obviously, having the fans back then. It's just, I suppose, I feel a bit kind of not hard done by, because everyone's season was taken away last year. But, we were looking at it saying we're going to win the league. We wanted to win the league. That was our goal, So it's kind of pushed us back a year, and I suppose it's made a couple of us, or all of us, hungrier to win it again this year. But it's just getting back out there, and as I said, going to try and win a league in front of and with all the fans of Bury AFC.
And Liam, have you got any kind of targets for the next year? Obviously, you're open to. We've got quite a few forward players in our team, so there's going to be a bit of a battle for places and positions. And so, are you hoping to get going, get started nice and early, and try and bag some goals early doors, and keep...
I mean, it's only like Tom Greaves who I have to try and catch up with, so it's only a super difficult task. But you know, we got strong. We've literally got we got players who could play in every position, from goalkeeper all the way up to forward. There's competition for places. But I think the good thing that we've done and the management team have done is just everyone's kind of buying into it. And like if I have to play 20 minutes and it helps win us a game, or I have to play 90 minutes, like obviously I'd rather play the 90 minutes, but if that's the part I have to play, I think even the games I came on last season, like if it is 20 minutes, I'll try and give it everything I can. But I'm hoping, of course, I'd love to play every minute of every game. But if we're winning games and everyone's scoring goals and we're playing in front of 1,500 people, and just being a part of that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
And are you looking forward to the friendlies coming up? Obviously, we've got a couple of big ones with Chester and FC United, and there's a kind of couple of local ones as well that are around about. Are you looking forward to those games, Tony?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be good to test ourselves against teams like that. You know, Chester are obviously a massive club. FC, I think, is it 2,000 tickets sold for that game so far? Is it, or 2,500? So that'll obviously be an exciting one, and it's, you know, it's good to test ourselves against teams a couple of divisions above us and show where we're at. Really, I suppose it's and we've a couple of weeks to train now and a couple of games before them. So hopefully we can show what we're all about in them games.
Liam, are you training right through, or are you going to go right through the summer, or are you going to have a little bit?
We've got 2 weeks off. 2 weeks off in June, or a week off, just to break it up. And then I think we're training once a week till then, week or so downtime, maybe 10 days, and then back to it twice a week with games thrown in. So it's been such a long time. It's kind of like a lot of us are starting from real scratch again with fitness and whatnot. There's only so much running you can do. So yeah, I'd say we'll have maybe a week or 10 days off, I think.
Do the matches work out better for you? Do you prefer to play matches and get fit, play matches, or do you need that pre-season? As a footballer, do you need a pre-season? Do you need that kind of? Obviously, it's not as intense as what you would be if you're a professional, but there still needs to be a level. You are still playing probably twice a week for the duration of the next couple of months. So is a pre-season necessary? Do you need to do, 5 mile runs and all that lot? Or is match after match after match more suitable for you guys?
It's a mix, really. Last pre-season, I think we were very sharp during the season, and we didn't do any 5 mile runs, as you said, or anything like that. I think then days are kind of gone a little bit, with sports science and football and all that. But the gaffer and Phil and Sven, the sessions they put on are and obviously Lenko as well, they're proper intense, and it's football fitness that we get out of them. Not, you can go off and run 10 miles, 15 miles there, but at the end of the day, the ball breaks, you need to be the first one to get there, you know what I mean? So our sessions are proper geared towards getting us ready to be, towards 90 or 100 minutes on a Saturday or a Tuesday night, whatever it might be. So it definitely needs to be a mix in between. Obviously, you need to be match fit as well, but I think we get really sharp from our sessions. As I said, they're proper intense. So for me anyway, I don't know about Liam, but I think we definitely need a mix of the two.
I'd rather just play me. You won't ever catch me running 5. I don't think I physically could run 5 miles, even if I'm at my fittest. It's just my body's just not made that way. So for me, nothing beats games. And but yeah, like Tone said, the sessions that the guys put on are always really intense and competitive, and we're always arguing with each other after training, and I think that's a good sign of a good dressing room.
And what's Welshie like as a gaffer? Obviously, you two kind of coming from a fresh, really, because a lot of the players that he's had with him have come from Osset, or they know him from somewhere else. So what was it like when you first kind of got together with the gaffer, and what did you make of him?
He's been great with me. I feel like I'm at a point where it's quite nice to have a manager who you can speak to both personally and professionally. Even if it's advice that he's giving or questions that I've got to ask about the game or football, he's always there to pick up the phone or speak 5 minutes after a match. And I think that's all you can ask for. I know the standards he set are high, but they're kind of the standards you have of yourself anyway. So as long as you buy into the fact that you're probably going to have to work as hard as you've worked for the period of time, I know that him and Sven and everyone will and Phil will back you 100%. So I guess it's just a case of buying into the ethos that is work hard and they'll back you. And for me, that's perfect. Like I love nothing more than playing for someone who wants you to work as hard as you can and also gives you the time to have a phone call and have a conversation to talk about football. Like we don't always agree. Like sometimes it's just having like listening to his opinion and listening to the rest of the guy's opinion. And I think having that open line of communication is really refreshing for me.
Is it the same for you, Tony?
Yeah, big time. Obviously with his experience and, you know, where he's played in the Premier League, and obviously he's played at Enfield and things like that. He was telling us a story one day about playing against Steve Finnan, who obviously with an Irish background as well, and he was unbelievable for Liverpool. But as Liam said, like, and obviously I've already touched on the sessions and how enjoyable they are, but it's the other side of it as well, how personable he is with everyone. You know, you can go at him with it if you have an issue outside of football. You know, he's there to pick up the phone to you, and he just shows all the lads are willing to kind of run through a wall for him, I suppose, and he gets on well with everyone. And he's kept, not too many people do it, but he's kept kind of 22 lads happy, you know, and 22 lads have stayed around. So that doesn't happen too often either, especially at this level, you know. So it says a lot, I suppose.
I think that's it. I think when you see some of the goals, again, I'm kind of going, oh, it was only, you know, a few games. But even the lads that were sat in the stand that weren't part of the game, they were still involved. You know, the players were running to those players that were in the stand, and it does feel very much like a group, a very close group. And I think we've managed to retain pretty much every single player that's kind of that signed on at the start of last season, more or less, isn't it?
Yeah, and like Tony said, at non-league football, like the turnover is so high. Like it's not heard of. Some clubs, I've been in leagues where a club might go through 80 players down in London, 50 players this season, and like very few clubs manage to retain all of the boys, and even the ones who might not stay, like, I'm sure they'd say they had an enjoyable time. I don't think anyone would leave with any bad feeling. So I think, yeah, it's great that everyone's stuck together, and I think that's what you need to go and be near the top of the league, is a group that knows each other. And do you know what, mate? Although the season ending wasn't the best thing, it's given us all an extra couple of months of pre-season to get used to each other again, and added understanding from the season before.
I suppose it gives you a little bit of hunger as well. The fact that you were, you know, you had a good start to the season, although I thought, you know, you were just kind of getting into the motion of things. You were just starting finding those patterns of play, and then it obviously got brought to an end. So I think now it must be like, right, we want to prove that we can win the league. We want to prove that we can, you know, score 4 or 5s, or, you know, you must want to set your stall out early doors.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, as you said, it's only 7 league games, wasn't it? So we didn't have much time, and it was a brand new team. Everyone was new, you know, it was a new club, everything. So yeah, as you said, I felt like we were just getting into our stride, and it was a bit unfortunate, but it definitely gives us more hunger for the upcoming season.
Okay, I'm going to change the pace up a little bit. So you two have obviously you've met over in Ireland, then you coincidentally met back in New Zealand, brought back together in Staley Bridge, and now you're at Bury AFC. So we're going to see how well you think you know each other. So in front of you should be a whiteboard and a marker pen. Let's have a look at you. There we go, whiteboards and marker pens. There we go, well prepared. So we're going to have a little game of Mr. and Mrs. I tried to think of a catchy kind of like McDermott and MacDevitt and Mrs. McDermott. MacDevitt and Mrs. But I don't know. It just didn't feel right. So I'm just going to call it Mr. and Mrs. So I'm going to read out some statements, okay? And I want you to write on your whiteboard who you think that statement is. So if I've said who eats the most, you'd write.
We stay friends, yeah, Tone.
You stay friends at the end of it. There's
yeah,
falling out. So then you write down. So I'm going to ask you to reveal your answers after 3. Okay. So
yeah.
So the first one is, who is the smartest? Who's the smartest? Okay, gonna ask you to reveal in 1, 2, 3. Right, we've got one.
But only because I've got a degree. That's it.
Okay, that's
I'm
very.
talking technically speaking.
Yeah.
Nothing
only
else.
because he has a degree. That's the only reason.
That's literally is the only reason.
Okay, next question. Who is the most likely to lose their temper on the pitch? Who's the most likely to lose their temper on the pitch? Okay, okay. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Tony, wow! I thought that would be you, Liam.
Tone's more likely to lose it with me. I'll probably more likely to lose it with someone else.
So we got 2 out of 2. We're doing well. Okay, so you shared a flat together in New Zealand. You lived together for a little bit, so you probably know each other well enough to answer this question. Who is the?
I know it's coming up here, and I already wrote my answer. I know what this is going to be.
Who is the cleanliest? Who's the cleanliest? 3, 2, 1, reveal. Tony, why are you the cleanliest, Tony? Why?
I'm just not the dirtiest, Nick. That's what it's. For the most messy. That's a better way of putting it, I think.
I didn't. Look at Liam. I don't know if Liam's backdrop's there. I thought he was quite an organised. Look at but I don't know what the flaws like.
The washing up. I hate washing up. That's basically it.
So
that's a fake background behind him, Nick. That's not.
Right. So the next one. Who's the most competitive? Who's the most competitive?
Oh, that's impossible.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Both of you. I'll give you that one. You're both very competitive people.
Yeah. Even as you were saying, when we were training together over lockdown, we're doing 1v1s and all that. There was a few nasty tackles, and it was just us out in the field.
But 2 of you slide tackling each other on a bit of grass somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll like this one. Who's the most stylish? Who's the most stylish? Okay, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Liam. Like clothes, Liam. I think Chris Holt said that as well. You pull off some decent swag.
I don't know if it's decent. It's just
outrageous to be able to.
It's committed. It's committed.
Yeah.
You've got fashion is a risk, Liam. Fashion is a risk.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Who is the better at penalties? So who's the better penalty taker? I can tell by Liam's face who I was going to write on this one. Okay.
But
3, 2, 1, reveal. All right. Okay. I didn't see that coming.
Nah. You know what it is? I back myself to score, but say it was like the last game of the season and we had a pen and Tony or me had to take it to win the league, I'm giving the ball to Tony.
Yeah, is that right, Tony? Are you a bit more composed on the from 12-yard spot?
I don't know, but I don't think anyone's going to take him off Reeves anyway. So an argument for another day.
Get his 80th goal of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Who's got the best moves on the dance floor? Who's got the best moves? I'm thinking those nights in Staly-Bridge after the game.
Never had a night out in Staly-Bridge.
3, 2, 1, reveal. Liam, you're doing very well.
Only because Tony has to have his sick pint of Guinness before he goes near the dance floor.
Yeah, the end the rest.
What's your choice of music, Tony? What song would get you on the dance floor?
Oh,
anything from about 15 years before I was born. Anyway, anything from the 80s, Nick, and about 10 points of Guinness. I might be tempted then, but.
What about you, Liam?
Yeah, a bit of everything. I'm into all sorts, any genre.
Anything, but are you first on the floor? Are you like just follow me, just watch me, or are you kind of?
It's just in there if it needs to come out. It's in there.
Cool. Okay, right. who would win in a tug of war? So you've got a piece of rope between you. Who would win in a tug of war?
Oh,
Have we got one wrong yet?
You've got you had Tiam.
Yeah.
So you both ummed and ahed at that one. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Tony, well done. Both
Only because we went to the gym the other day and I had to take some weights off for the last few sets of the bench press, so I have to give him that one.
So you've got the evidence there, Tony.
Yeah,
if you put anything else down, you'd have gone, hang on a minute, what about the
yeah, exactly. That's why you put it down, I think,
Okay. We've got 2 more. So who's the best driver? Who's the best driver?
That is tough. Because there's been some shockers.
Okay. 3.
Honestly, you can only put one thing here anyway.
2, 1, reveal. Tony.
Can I just say, I think actual driving is pretty equal, but I've had some bad car stories since Tony's known me. So.
Yeah, very.
Are they repeatable on the Shaken Up show? Are we allowed to talk about one of those stories?
One, I managed to get a car beached in New Zealand, and Tone had to come with the other car and try and drag me off, and it didn't work. So I had to get the car towed off in the morning, which I think seals the deal.
So one of them, the tide was coming in, and we again the next morning. Liam rang me, and I was watching a movie with the boys at home, and I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and got a phone call after the car stuck on the beach, and I just said, "Oh, you have to be joking!" So we were down there.
What was he doing on the beach in a car? What was he doing on the beach in a car?
I was just taking a late night drive.
Okay.
Took a wrong turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anybody else in the car? Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Okay. Just
A friend, yeah.
Yeah, a friend. Right, we'll leave that there. Right, finally, who is the gaffer's favourite? Who's the gaffer's favourite?
Oh.
I think Liam's got his down. Okay. So, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Oh! Right, okay. So, Liam, why did you say Tony?
I just went on minutes played. That's all I could justify it with.
And Tony, why did you say Liam?
I don't know. I actually don't have an answer for it. I don't know. You'll have to ask him. You'll have to ask him yourself, Nick. I'm not sure.
That was brilliant. Thanks very much, guys. Really enjoyed that.
No, I appreciate. We actually did all right there, Tone.
You did.
Sorry,
I should recap it. You got you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 10, and then you've got 1, the competitive one, where you kind of both said we're equally as competitive. So, I'll give you 9. I'll give you 9 out of 10. That's not bad. You know each other pretty well. What we're going to do now is, Tony, we've got your missus on the other line. So if we could bring in, no, I'm joking, we haven't.
You know what? She's just gone upstairs as well. I was like, she's surely not going on to this.
We're going to see how well she knew Liam. That would have been it. But
yeah.
Well done. Okay.
She just went upstairs. I heard her moving around, and I said, "Oh no, surely not."
Right. So, if you could give the people out there watching this on the YouTubes or listen to it on the Spotify's or the podcasts, or what would you say about the new season? Have you got any messages that you'd like to give to the fans? We'll start with you first of all, Liam.
Just that we all can't wait to be back on the pitch, and if it's anywhere near as loud as last year with 300, then we'll keep running and keep trying to win games. So it's been such a long break without football. We may as well sink a few pints and sing a few songs and make as much noise as possible. And we'll try and win as many games as we can in return.
And Tony?
I suppose it's just getting Liam touched on it already, but it's just, the fans definitely won us points last year for being there for us, and hopefully we can just put on performances that brings people back. And I think at any level, really, all fans want to see is lads working themselves into the ground, and you'll definitely get that with the group we have. And although at times it won't be like watching Barcelona. You know, you're close to all of us and close to the staff, and you know, and as Liam said, you have points with lads that, you know, there's friends that have probably been going together for 10, 20, 30 years, and hopefully we can bring that back and give them some good memories along the way as well.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really looking forward to the friendly games, and I'm really looking forward to the new season as well. It's going to be quite a journey. Hopefully, it'll be a bit easier this time. But guys, thanks very much for joining us there today. And Tony, best of luck with the little bambino that's on its way in the next couple of days.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Nick, and thanks for having us on as well.
Appreciate it,
guys. Cheers.
Cheers. See you soon.
That's it for this week's Shaken Up Show. A big thank you to Tony Whitehead and Liam MacDevitt there for joining us. Great sports. Don't forget, you can get your Bury AFC season tickets. They are available from the Bury AFC website. Go to www.buryafc.uk. We've also got a series of pre-season friendlies. We're playing Chester, Thackley, Squires Gate, Uxton, FC United. To find out how you can get tickets for them, you can find us on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter, on the Instagram, and also this is available as a podcast. So if you don't like seeing my face on YouTube, you can get this on Spotify, on Acast, on Anchor, and on Apple Podcasts. But until next week, we'll see you soon on the Shaken Up Show. Goodbye.